Hello everyone, this is Fubar MotoBits, and today we're shooting a how-to video about our Radiantz Integratorz Premium 100 LED array. Now these are manufactured by Radiantz LEDs. They're an American-made product. It's an excellent product that we carry on our website. Today we're modifying this for two purposes. One, to show you guys how to do it, and two, because the default way that these are manufactured doesn't fit our needs. They're just too big. So this LED Integratorz kit that we're going to be working with today is going on a 1975 Honda CB360 Cafe Racer build we're doing. We're trying to flush mount these into the fiberglass seat that we've created, seat pan. So the 100 LED strip as it comes is too big, so we need to cut it down in a way. And we wanted to maintain the light output, so we still wanted to use all 100 LEDs. So the Integratorz Premium kit and I'll show you, here it is. This is half of it. This has already been cut in half. But what it is they are, and I apologize for the camera. This is an iPhone 5S, so it doesn't autofocus really well on these small LEDs. But what it is you see each one of these 5 LED arrays, they actually contain 2 LEDs. So there's a red and an amber inside of each one of these individual LEDs. So it gives you fantastic light output without reducing the number of LEDs. So we get both red and amber and still get 100 LEDs. You'll see that there are 3 wires. You've got red is for the power of the red LEDs, black is a common ground, and yellow is for amber. Now for this we are also going to be using a dual element kit, which is this here. So this purpose is so that you can drive the LED, the red, in both running lights and brake lights. So you've got this one wire will go to the LED, and then these 2 wires here are your constant running, and then your brake light, so the brake gets brighter. And once we get all this up, I'll wire it here on the bench so that you can see how it all looks. So the things you're going to need for this from a product standpoint is the Radiantz Premium Integratorz kit. Whether it's 100 LED or not, it doesn't matter. We're using 100. You're going to need the Radiantz dual element kit here. And then for tools, you're going to need a soldering iron. I've got a couple files here, and this is to file down some traces, and I'll show you what those are for. You're going to need solder. I have a little solder cleaning pad here to clean off the soldering iron. You're going to need both a pair of wire cutters and wire strippers. Actually, the wire cutters would have been sufficient, or strippers. I didn't need both, but I like to use the right tool for the job, so I have 2 there. And then I got this little guy. It's not required, but this helps when trying to add solder to your wires. What I've got here is, so we'll go ahead and start. So what I'm trying to accomplish is I'm going to have 2 of these set on top of one another. And then what I'm wanting to do is I want the entire array to be red when you're running and for brake lights, but I only want half of it to be the turn signal. Now, so the way it's going to mount is going to be bent across the seat like so. And I didn't want a visual break here. So I wanted it to look continuous, but as far as light output, I want it to look like one nice array of lighting. So what I've done, or what I'm going to do, is if you'll see here, and it's not going to focus real well, you'll see that Radiantz did a really good job with these, allowing you to modify them in any way you need. So there's 3 traces here, and they're actually in between each 5 LED array. And what this allows you to do is allows you to cut it right here. And then when you cut it, you've got a solder pad to solder your new wires in. Now, what I'm going to be doing is, since I don't want to physically cut these, I'm going to be going at the halfway mark. I'm just going to be getting rid of the trace for the yellow LED. You don't need to get rid of the trace for the black or the red, because the black is going to be your common ground across the whole array, and red is going to be a common power across the whole array. Now, the reason we're not cutting the red is because I want this whole thing to be red. I don't need half of it to be red. I only need half of it to be amber. So what I'm going to do is, it's going to be hard to see on camera, but I'm going to take my file, and actually not that one, I'm going to take this one, because it's got teeth. It's a square file, it's got teeth all the way to the end, and it's got edges that are nice and sharp, and it's got a bevel, so it makes it easy to get in there. But what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be getting rid of just the trace for the yellow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just start filing away. Now you got to kind of go pretty deep, because you got to get through not only the solder pad, but there's actually a trace, a circuit board trace under there. So we're gonna file this down just enough to get through. We don't want to go all the way through, because we don't want to break the circuit board here. If you do, it's no big deal. It breaks up that visual of one solid piece. So once that's done, you can see if I can get close enough for you to see it. I don't think it's going to focus for me, but we just enough right there to break that circuit. Now you can use a rotary tool, a cutoff tool, to do that as opposed to a file. It's just hard. It's hard to control. So I just like to use the file. And actually, when I show you the other half that I've already done today, I actually did cut through multiple traces. So what I had to do there is add wire to the other side. So there's our array is cut. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring over my my anti-gravity battery, which this is the battery that I'm running in my bike, and you'll see how fantastically small it is. But we sell these as well on our website. But I'm going to go ahead and just hook up the ground. And then I'm going to, so we're going to take a look at this. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is give you the red. The red's really bright, so the camera's probably going to freak out. So that's our red. And now, if we hook up the amber, we should only see the left side. So you'll see the right side does not light up. And that's because we've cut that trace right there in the middle. So what I need to do next is I need to get some wire. So I've got some extra wire here that it's not really included, so to speak, but Radiantz adds. So you can see here they have a pigtail, and there's a ton of wire on this. I've already cut a significant amount off. You see there's still plenty left. This is really all I need for my purposes. You may need to get your own wire to add to it, but this is all I need hanging off the end so that I can wire it to the bike. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my little third hand here, and I'm just going to apply just a dab of solder. And I apologize for the soldering iron. It's a butane soldering iron, and it makes that nice whistle noise when it's getting started. So I'm just going to wait for it to heat up here for a minute. And while it's waiting or warming up, I just touch the solder to it and wait for it to get warm. All right, so it's already getting. So yeah, that's the other great thing about these is, since they don't use electricity, they get hot pretty quick. So what I'm going to do is, I've already shaven my wire. I'm just going to add a little bit of solder right there to the end, and that's all I really need. All right, so the next thing I want to do is I want to get my my LED array over here. Now my hands shake really bad, so I have to have all these little gadgets to help me hold. Now when you put this in, you want to be very careful not to crush that array there. Now what I'm going to do is, so I've got my wire here, and I've got just a bit of extra solder on it. So I'm going to bring this around, and I'm going to just give it enough heat, trying to get the exhaust up away, just enough heat to make a connection. All right, so that's it. That's all I needed. Let me take a close look at this. I'm not real happy with where that is. That's not centered real well. So I'm just going to apply some heat. It's going to come off. Ugh, shaky hands. All right, so that should do it. Yep, that looks good. Now I'm going to take my file here. I don't know if you can see it or not. There's just a little bit of extra. I want to make sure that those aren't touching. So the great thing about these triangle and squares, you can get in there and create your own. Right angles in the solder. All right, so I'm gonna bring my battery back over here now, just to demonstrate. All right, let's get the ground hooked up. Okay, so what we've got is we now have a right and left turn signal. So I'm going to tap this up to our power, and you'll see the right side lights up. Do this one, we got the left side. Now if we now I'm going to show you what the dual element circuit does real quick. Try not to make this a spaghetti mess of wire here. So again, we'll hook up this red one first. This is going to signify actually let's do the orange one, because the orange one is the running light. That's the dimmer of the two. So go ahead and hook this up, and you'll see there what it looks like. All right, now let's simulate. I'm going to press the brake pedal. See how much brighter that gets. Actually, let's turn it down away from the camera. You'll see it gets pretty bright. All right, so now let's say I hit the left turn signal. There it is. You see you got a very visual and distinctive difference between the running light and the turn signal. And we can do the other side now. You got that. Now let's say you come to a stop, you put the brakes on, but you still need to turn, right? So you see there's still a very distinct difference when your turn signal's flashing. Now let's put this all together now. So I've got this one here that I already did earlier today. Now this one, you're going to see that I've got a red and a yellow wire coming out of this one end. Now the reason for that is because I got carried away and I cut the red trace along with the yellow trace. Not a big deal. You just have to add it just adds a little bit more to the wiring. So I've got this spaghetti cluster of wire here now. Well, what I want to do real quick, so let's pull this out. What I'm going to do is we're going to start and go ahead and pull the grounds together. All right. Okay. And now let's pull all of the reds together. So the reds are they're just for your stop lights and your running lights. So they'll all have one continuous power supply. And again, I'm going to wire that into I'm going to hook this in here to the dual element circuit. Sorry, I had a brain fart there. All right, so we got all that hooked up. It's a big old spaghetti mess. Let's see if I can get these to separate a little bit. All right, so we've got two arrays, one on top of the other. All right, so what I want to do is let's go ahead and hook this side turn signal together. Obviously, when you wire this up on your bike or ATV or whatever purpose you're using it for, boat, whatever, you wouldn't, I guess you don't have brake lights on a boat, but you can still use an array of lighting on your boat for accent lighting. All right, so you wouldn't normally have this nice cluster. So I'm going to lay this guy right here just to give me some weight. All right, so let's bring my battery back over. Okay, let's wire in the ground. All right, now let's wire in our running light. All right, so now what you'll see here is we've got two nice arrays for our running light. Now, again, let's hit the brakes. How bright that guy gets. I mean, the camera doesn't do it justice. All right, but now we want our left turn signal. So you'll see the effect I was going for is now both LED strips on the left light up separate from the right. So that's going to give me a really neat effect on my bike. So these are going to be, flush mounted in at a slight bend, and then I'll be able to, left turn signal, right turn signal. All right, well that's it, guys. We sell all this on our website, so check it out, www.fubarmotobits.com. We'll have the links down the bottom in the comment, and I've got a write-up on this on our blog. so you can get some written instructions that are a little more detailed with some higher end pictures, so you can see the separation of the traces a little better, as well as the solder. So one last thing I want to show you is the tube, the actual, what these guys go inside of. So here's the tube. It's just got very high quality adhesive on the back. So when you slide these LEDs inside of your tube, you'll put an end cap on it, like so. They've got a hole in it for your wires to come out. Once that's all done up, you can just squirt some silicone in there to keep the water out. Yeah, and you're good to go. So that's what it's going to look like on our bike. We're going to have 2 of these. Check out our website, our blog, our Facebook page, and our Google Plus and Instagram for continued build of the bike. And if you have any questions, you can reach us at info@fubarmotobits.com. And again, our contact information is in the bottom down below. Thanks a lot. Keep it shiny side up.